You played number one somewhere along in your line as a coach?
Been on number one. I've played number one, yeah, a few times.
It's got to be different, feel. I mean, for the coaches and the players when you're playing number one or being number one.
Well, it is. I mean,
yeah.
I've been on both sides of that, and you know that everybody's amped and geared towards you when you are number one, and when you're going against number one, there's a certain buzz in the air, a certain excitement. And then for us coaches, there's a reason there's number one because they're pretty good.
Do you think that because their defense is so good, just how good their offense gets overlooked a little bit?
Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at their defense much in some crossover games, but they're very they have no weaknesses on offense.
You talk about their offensive line. One of the guys was saying that all the guys were starred as standouts.
Yeah, they are. They're all the way across the board. There's no weaknesses in this offense. Each week we go into a game and you kind of see a glaring weakness here or there, somewhere you may be able to attack, so forth and so on. They're good across the board. AJ's playing really well. The offensive line is huge and really good at what they do. They got two really good running backs, and they've got tons of speed outside. So, I mean, they're a complete offense.
Kevin mentioned that he liked the way that you guys matched the physicality of some of the other league teams you guys have played this year.
Uh-huh.
How will that help in this week?
Oh, I mean, it's going to have to, because this is probably the most physical team that we've played, based on the film I've seen. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for us.
What do you take from LSU when you watch what they were able to do up until like that last drive? And obviously, you guys played at LSU, physicality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, there's some similarities there. I'll say this: along the way, Alabama hurt themselves. I'm not so much that I'm not taking anything away from LSU, but they hurt themselves with a fumble and some of those kind of things going in to score. So we got to be opportunistic, and we just got to go play our game.
When you inherit seniors, you never quite know what you're getting, but how much fun is it to get a guy like Spencer Neely, who also was willing to make a position switch and do whatever was best for the defense?
He's been great. I mean, he's the Energizer Bunny for us, and he's the ultimate team guy. Every team needs a Spencer Neely, and with Julian coming on and us able to move Spence inside, it kind of solidified our front, and that was a area of concern coming into this year, and he's been gold for us.
Coach, someone said he never knows if he's just really excited or nuts. Which one is it?
Oh, I have to go with somebody on that one. Spence is he's an Energizer Bunny. I mean, he always brings energy to the field and to the meeting rooms and to the when they run onto the field and when we're on the field. He's just that guy. On the team bus, you got it.
Mark, how much are you looking forward to the game within the game, DeMontre Moore and their tackle, whichever side he's on, and just that litmus test for him, how good he's been this year, but he's going up against a couple of great tackles.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good for our whole team. I mean, you look at our offensive tackles going against their defensive ends. I mean, it's all the way across the board. Our linebackers against their guards, our safeties against their backs. That this goes across the board, and that's when you play the number one team in the country. Those are the matchups that you get, and. But I'll be shocked if our kids aren't excited to go play.
On film, is McCarron moving as well in the pocket, the way he moves the pocket since he got injured against Missouri, as he was early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, he moved pretty well in the pocket last week. I mean, he's got some mobility to him.
Coach, there are so much questions on how y'all are going to react to being on the road in the big environments, and whether what happened after halftime against Auburn and Mississippi State at the beginning of the game, those were big time environments. What growth did your defense get from those situations?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to definitely help this week. I think Coach Summer's done a great job with our routine. Kids are used to a routine. I like our routine, and we're not going to change it. And I think we're gaining confidence. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And the fast starts has really helped us on both sides of the ball.
You coached in Bryant-Denny before?
I've never been there. No, I've coached against Coach Saban a couple times, but I've never been to Bryant-Denny.
Where did you coach against Coach Saban?
When we were at University of Minnesota. He was at Michigan State.
Are you surprised at his success along the way?
No, he's a good coach. I mean, he knows. He's a good football mind, and he's hired a good staff. And not only are they talented, they're very well coached. When you put on the film, it jumps off the film at you. I mean, they're a very well coached football team, and so we're excited to go play them.
When you play a play-action team like this, they're so good at that. Is that
Right.
that make you nervous?
Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, it keeps me up at night. I mean, you got to stop the run, and he, McCarron's doing a great job of throwing the ball into the bucket. He's got a real nice touch, and they got speedy wideouts, and so yeah, it keeps you up at night a little bit.
How do you feel about where you guys are health-wise, depth-wise?
Good, feel good, ready to go play.
How does having a player in practice like Brandon Williams help you with preparing for a running back like TJ Young?
Yeah, it does, and then the other running backs preparing us for 42 too. I mean, it's good to have those guys. 42 is a spin runner. I mean, he's really good at it for a big guy. He's really good at it. He has a knack for spinning out of tackles, and it's been good for our guys that are sitting out this year to watch these cats. So it definitely helps, no doubt about it.
They're 36. They're 36 of 38 in the red zone and scoring opportunities. What makes it so tough to stop?
Because they can run the football.
When you went to Spencer about what he was going to have to do this year, being undersized for that, how did he take that, and how did you address it to him?
Like he takes everything. Coach, whatever it takes for the team, whatever you need, I will do it and give you 115%, everything I have. And the poor guy walks out of every game black and blue. I mean, he's in there in the real trenches, and shoot, he's held up.
Coach, obviously their offensive line is physical. You talked about their running game. Do you feel you're going to need to really substitute a lot more throughout the game and keep your guys fresh to hold up?
Well, that hasn't been the case to this point. We don't have a lot of depth. So, like I've said in numerous occasions, LJ's done a great job with these guys. And we stayed healthy, and I really haven't felt the need to sub very much. I mean, I felt the need Saturday when DeMontre walked that kid down. I had to get him out to play later because he was tired. But other than that hasn't been an issue for us all year.
What's been the key to McCarron throwing no interceptions this year? Is he just intelligent?
Well, I mean, he's good, and he plays within the system. The key is they can run the ball, gang. Anytime you can run the football, it opens up the play-action pass game, Anytime you can run the ball and you can't get him behind the chains, he's going to be able to drop back pass and find soft spots in your coverage. So they don't get off schedule much, and that's an issue.
Are they hard to blitz?
We'll see.
DeMontre's play where he did chase down the receiver, is that one that can be used as just kind of symbolic of the way this defense is played?
No
How
doubt.
much fun was that?
It was really fun. I told him yesterday, that is in 22 years of coaching, that's one of the more impressive plays I've ever seen out of a defensive lineman. That was impressive, gang. Not only did he walk him down, he went to punch the ball out and missed it and still got the tackle. That's impressive now. That's very, very impressive.
Anything else?
You guys done a lot of run blitzing this year. I know you talked about blitzing, but how many times do you think have you run blitz versus pass blitz in the last,
I haven't self-scouted myself much. Keep a running total in my head. But we know we have both. Change the math a little bit. That's what we do. We have to do some of that because we're not where we need to be yet, and so.
Thanks,
Good.
Coach.
All right, gang.